did you become a full-blown heroin addict? I mean, you're 2 years sober.
2 years sober. I had had my son, and I remember coming home from the hospital with this prescription for Vicodin. And I remember thinking, this is for 100 pills. I'm thinking, it seems like a lot, but apparently it's been prescribed to me for a reason.
A doctor did it, so it must be okay.
I felt underprepared for motherhood, just stressed and overwhelmed. And the Vicodin helped me sleep. It helped calm me down. These problems that I describe aren't necessarily different from anyone else's problems. It's, I have to go to work and work 12 hours and come home and cook and clean and do laundry.
You were working 3 12-hour shifts.
Correct.
Yes. So then you started stealing the drugs for yourself.
It was something that started actually by accident. I had 2 Vicodin that I was going to be giving to a patient who was to be transported to to a nursing home from the hospital. By the time I got to his room, he was already on the gurney and being wheeled out. So the pills went in my pocket. I went and finished my shift, and I didn't even think about it. I didn't even know they were there until at the end of the day, I reach in to my pocket and I feel them. And the very first thought in my head was, oh my gosh, I have these pills in my pocket. And my second thought was, and nobody knows. And from there, I went home, took them, and it was like I was happy. This is what I need to be the better mom, the better nurse, the better wife.
Addiction is a chronic disease that has the potential to negatively affect a person's life and health. One of the casualties of a battle with addiction is the trail of damaged relationships it leaves in its wake. With the right kind of help, repairing relationships after addiction is possible.
So you went from being a scholarship student to stealing from your family. Tell me about that progression.
Honestly, this was something I never saw coming. My whole life I was the youngest of 3 kids in my family. I was a good kid. I kind of achieved everything that my parents had hoped for me. And, somewhere along the way, I was just, so unhappy with myself and never felt good enough or satisfied no matter what.
Even as captain of the 3 teams and getting all of the accolades and looking to the world and your friends like you had everything.
Right. I mean, what I found was the material stuff really wasn't enough to make me happy. It came from something inside of me that was just not okay.
What got you started?
Honestly, I just knew some other athletes who had been prescribed painkillers and they had extra ones lying around and were like, you want to give these a try? And before I knew it, just a couple months down the line, I was doing heroin. I didn't immediately go to the needle. That progressed over a couple of months, but the first time I put a needle in my arm, I knew there was no going back.
When we spoke to your mom, she told us that she doesn't even think you know who you are right now. Would you agree with her?
Yeah. And, the person you were describing of who I was before heroin, that's who I am, and I know that's who I am. I know I'm a good person at heart. But when I put that drug in my system, man, everything goes out the window. And that addiction inside of me, that hole in my soul needed something.
Statistics have it that 21.5 million Americans have a substance abuse disorder. Of this number, about 1.9 million people develop an addiction to prescription pain medicines, and 586,000 of them had an addiction to heroin. Approximately 23% of those people who use heroin developed an addiction to opioids. That is a significant number of people that has a substance use disorder. The key to healing from addiction and rebuilding trust after the addict in your family has hurt all of you, let you down, disappointed you, and caused chaos more times than you can count is education on what that drug entails. Part of this education is helping addicts take responsibility for and deal with the aftermath of events which occurred while they were still using drugs. Although it may not have been their choice to use while they were in the cycle of addiction, the harm caused to relationships with intimate partners, family members, and close friends still need to be dealt with. Fortunately, there is hope. The heroin opioid prevention education program. Remember, there are 4 keys to repairing broken family relationships. First key is you need to set realistic expectations. Number 2, learn healthy communication methods. Number 3, eliminate unhealthy relationships. Number 4, rebuilding trust will take time. The education and prevention programs at Life Skills Academy can help. Go to lindamcqueen.org. Once you are at lindamcqueen.org, the page will open up to Life Skills Academy. A link will be provided for you below. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Remember to like and share. And if any of you can donate to this channel, please do. Go to lindamcqueen.org to make a donation. That's lindamcqueen.org. Thank you.